Don't you just love all the great art here in San Antonio?
Oh, of course. It's just unmatched.
Well, there is a local artist who's making waves with his powerful portraits.
And he's painting with a purpose as well, seeking more minority representation within the arts. Our photojournalist Justin Calderon has his story and what the city did to help.
Let me get this guy.
In his cozy home studio, Kaldric Dow is touching up one of his latest pieces.
Of course, the hair is important.
Meticulous with every brushstroke, looking for imperfections unseen to the average naked eye.
I can usually tell when I'm not gonna like it when I'm about 75% of the way through.
He's a part of a new generation of creatives, striving for more representation in the art scene. As a young boy, he was inspired to pick up a brush after a middle school trip to a museum.
There was this huge painting of this African-American man that kind of resonated with me, and it just made me start thinking in middle school about doing something that represented people that look like me.
That newfound passion continued through high school and even at UTSA.
My newer work is more collage and is more focused on just the portrait, whereas my earlier work was focused on skin tone and lighting and getting the right mixes of just different colors to make a skin tone.
Kaldric began popping up at exhibitions, galleries, and speaking events. A lot of people were taking notice of his skill, including officials from the city, who had a very special request.
So they're like, hey, we're doing this sculpture at MLK Park. Would you like to design it? And I'm like, I don't know if you've seen my work, but I don't do sculptures. I only do 2D paintings, right? They're like, no, we want you to sketch it and then we'll work with us to make it 3D, right?
Though in unfamiliar territory, Kaldric was not deterred.
You can kind of see the dimensions here.
He came up with this sketch, which was the basis of a new sculpture called Spheres of Reflection. He teamed up with various engineers and fabricators to help bring his drawing to a 17-foot tall life, seeking Kaldric's approval every step of the way.
I took Dr. King's ideology of representation and looking within yourself, hence the reflection. The spheres are reflective. So when you go and look at it, you can see yourself and you can see your surroundings and think about change the way that Dr. King, his ideology was. Also, there's text on the spheres that Dr. King commonly used in his speeches and writings, like change, bold, dream, so that people can look at this while they're viewing the sculpture and kind of remember what he stood for. The spheres are also meant to represent hair, which is extremely important in the African-American culture. That had to be in the sculpture.
Dow hopes the new piece would do more than just enhance the landscape, that the people who view it with their eyes would also take a moment to view it with their minds and hearts.
I want it to be universal, to where people feel represented in it. I mean, it feels great, and it's the start of the MLK March where people can go and kind of see it. I kind of want it to be like a symbol of where people can start the march and kind of reflect on what they're marching for, right? I mean, it's exciting for me to be able to create something that's sculpture, right? And something that's gonna be there for a long time, right? Is really impactful.
And if you're looking to make your mark with your art too, Kaldric offers these parting words.
It is a risk, putting yourself out there, but you never know how great you can be until you actually do it, right? So take that risk.
Justin Calderon.
That's what I would tell them.
Great day to say.
Really nice. I mean, it's one of those pieces that makes you think.
It
When
does.
you walk around it, kind of follows you, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, and then the perspective changes. I also love what he said about hair and how important that is to Black culture. Being mixed, it definitely is, and I'm happy that I can wear my hair so many different ways and represent my culture well, so that's awesome.
Well, that's pretty awesome, and if you want to see more of Kaldric's work, you can at the Beautifully Black Film and Art Showcase happening all February at the Slab Cinema Art House at the Blue Star.